You are looking live inside the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium, where tonight New York Sash proudly presents the 2025 New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss, the 21st edition. My name is Ray Biggs. He is Ben Kinney. So glad to have you along for the ride for what should be a fantastic matchup between two ranked teams, number 14 Utica hosting number 4 Oswego State. But beyond the game, it's about so much more tonight, Ben. Yeah. This is the Mohawk Valley's most exciting toy drive.
Absolutely.
The Pioneers, when they score their first goal, the fans in this building will erupt and they'll throw their teddy bears onto the ice for collection, and those will be distributed through charities to local families in need.
And Ray, let me tell you, as someone who was kind of an outsider coming in, going to Oswego State, hearing about the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss in my time in Oswego, and then actually being able to witness it, people talk about it and they can describe it a million different ways, but it's completely different experiencing it in person firsthand. It's a completely different feeling seeing for your own eyes all those teddy bears flying over the glass. There's nothing like it.
And since it was brought to Utica, of course, in 2005, Colin Kingston scoring the first goal in a matchup against Hamilton, this game and this tradition, it's spread from coast to coast. All over the country, you can find a teddy bear toss now, including, of course, that amazing sight you see every year in Hershey, Pennsylvania with 100,000. But this is the finest teddy bear toss in all of college hockey. There's no question about that. And it's a testament to what Jill and Scott Hayes have built, and what Gary Heenan has built here at Utica as well.
Absolutely. And you look at now in its 25th year with Utica University Hockey, just the program that Gary's built. It's remarkable.
We'll send it downstairs now for our national anthem.
Presenting tonight's college from Notre Dame, NJROTC. Tonight's anthem will be sung by Andy Marshall.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Andy Marshall,
everybody, one of the best fans of the Pioneers, and really dedicated to this program.
Absolutely. Great guy all around.
We now ask you to turn your attention to center
Let's
ice
send it downstairs
for
now
ceremonial
for a
puck
word
drop.
from New York Sash.
For the 21st consecutive year, making their way to center ice for the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss puck drop are Scott and Jill Hayes and their children, owners of New York Sash and dedicated supporters of your Utica University Pioneers.
Good evening, and welcome to the 21st Annual New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss. My family has been hosting this event for 21 years, and we'd like to say a special thank you to our good friend, Coach Gary Heenan, and Utica University. Each and every year, everybody brings their teddy bears. And if you're not familiar with the rules, hold on to those teddy bears tight. And when Utica scores their first goal, you let them fly out onto the ice. And the New York Sash family will scurry around. We will pick up those teddy bears and make sure they get into the hands of children in need this holiday season. After tonight, we will have raised over 60,000 teddy bears. We're so proud of this event, and we couldn't have done it without the fans. Thank you, Utica. Let's score early, and let's score often. Let's go, Utica!
And so the stage is set for the 21st New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss. The number 14 Utica Pioneers, 5-5. They're coming off a tough loss in the Utica Thanksgiving Showcase. 3-1 the score against their local rivals, Hamilton, in the first meeting between those two in 11 years. Oswego also coming off a loss against the top team in the nation, defending national champion Hobart last night.
Yeah, and I talked to Ed Gosick before the game, Ray, and he wasn't too satisfied with how his team played last night. 5-2 loss, but in all honesty, you look at the bigger picture, you're going up against the top team in the nation as the number 4 team in the nation. For all intents and purposes, they gave Hobart quite the run for their money last night. You look going into that one, it was Gavin McCarthy in net. He's not in net tonight. Going into last night was the number 1 goaltender in Division III hockey anywhere in this country. To have the season that he's had and still Oswego had a fighting chance last night, it's pretty impressive. It says something about this Lakers team.
Pioneers playing their 6th game against a ranked opponent, hidden in their overall record for this season. We are up and running here in the 21st New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss. Goaltenders tonight, Kyle Curtin for Utica. The Elmira transfer makes his 9th straight start. And at the other end, Michael Manzi making his 5th appearance of the season for the Lakers. Just a rookie from Smyrna, Delaware.
Yeah, Curtin's had himself quite the year, Ray. .222 goal against average, a .917 save percentage. Pretty impressive considering, he's been getting the nod every game.
Pioneers 15-3-1 all-time in the Teddy Bear Toss game. Couple of overtime wins peppered in there. A ranked victory against Oswego a few years ago in there as well. A new scorer would be the 16th all-time, and for a 2-time scorer, that would be the 4th in history, and there are 2 men on watch to do that tonight, Drake Morse and Eric Vitale. Well, we've got a second here, Ben. What's your prediction tonight?
I think Morse is going to get it. He's the one with experience. He's got experience against Oswego. They played him twice last year, once in November, once in January. I think he knows this Oswego team. He knows this Oswego defense as well, and he knows how to get around them.
He also knows about some of Oswego's best players coming from the Shreveport Mudbugs organization as well.
Yep. Oswego has a history of taking guys from Shreveport starting way back when I was still in Oswego. A goaltender by the name of Richie Perrant, great nephew of the now late Bernie Perrant.
Cleared all the way down, circling back for it is Payon from Niagara Falls, Ontario. He'll start the breakout here for the Lakers. Pioneers sitting back here in the neutral zone on this breakout sequence. Carried back behind the net, and they'll work it forward. It's Salvatore Serrato, the freshman from the Danbury Hat Tricks organization, tipped in over the stripe by McMillan, the rookie, and he won't get in after the dump in as it's covered up by Manzi.
Looking old time between these two. Utica trying to get back in a winning record for this matchup. 9-15-5 against Oswego all time. Again, their last one back in January, a 5-3 win here at the Odd.
6-6-2 home record, though. 500 all time against the Lakers, the Pioneers are, when playing inside of this building. And they've played in some memorable places, too. For example, the one that comes to mind, the Frozen Dome game 11 years ago, 2014 at the Carrier Dome. I will always call it that, by the way.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I saw a post about that a couple weeks ago, actually, the anniversary of that. still the largest attended game in American Hockey League history, 36,000.
And the highest in D3 history as well that day. Shot taken from the far wing boards, and that's smothered by Utica's netminder Kyle Curtin. Curtin coming off a 20-save effort in the loss to Hamilton College. 5-4-0 record, 91.7 save percentage, and a 2.22 goals against average. He had back-to-back shutouts during the Manhattanville weekend as the Utica Pioneers were victorious for the third and fourth time in conference play this year. They are a perfect 4-0 when playing in conference games. Back to Aiden Parekh, first-team all-conference selection for Utica a year ago. Longy, the first-year Pioneer, transfer in from Division I American International. Long shot taken there by Aiden Parekh. That hits a skate in front. Only one career goal for Aiden Parekh, and he won't find a second one right there. 17:40 to play. We are in the opening period. Pitchforked into the offensive zone by Bannister, the Mercyhurst transfer. Out comes Gurman. Gurman goes to the chip, trying to escape the effort of Nicholas Miller.
Yeah, this is Oswego defense right now. It's just shutting down any chances that Utica can get. And if you look at the greater stats for Oswego, that's been their MO all year round, is just shut down the offense however you can.
And to be honest, it's really kind of a break of the prototype between these two teams.
Yeah.
Typically, they're both known program from year to year as programs that score a lot of goals. Right now, the Pioneers are 40th in the nation at 3.1 goals a game, which is unheard of, really.
And shocking for a reigning national runner-up, to be quite honest.
Golickson draws an upcoming penalty against the Lakers, and it will be for hooking. And afterwards, some extracurriculars. We've seen some rough stuff over the years in this game.
That's not something you see too often from Oswego either, is late after curriculars like that.
And it was Josh Simpson, the guilty party, who is now headed over to the penalty box.
We might be getting 2 penalties here.
We'll see if they double him up or if it's
they
just
are.
the one.
So it's going to be a 5-on-3 for the Pioneers.
Haven't seen the serviceman go in yet, though. Unless he snuck in when I was looking up. There he is. Good work there by our camera crew here throughout the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. So Brent Fudger has joined him in the penalty box. So indeed, we will have a 5-on-3 for the Pioneers. Golden opportunity to maybe get the elusive teddy bear toss goal done right here.
Yeah, Ned Gosick is not happy with that call right now. He's standing right in the edge of the bench, waiting for an explanation from the ref.
And for neither of these guys, it's far from their first rodeo against each other, as we alluded to. But also, these are two head coaches over 2 decades of experience on each bench tonight in the head coaching role, and over 400 victories, along with at least a trip to the national championship game, if not a national title.
Yeah, and Oswego, the 2007 national champion. So pair of 2 minutes. Let's keep in mind, Oswego still has not let a power play goal in this year, Ray. Best in the nation, 100% on the penalty kill.
The Utica women would tell you that streaks are meant to be broken. They scored the first power play goal of the season on Middlebury last night.
Did they?
In a loss against the Panthers next door. Round to Vitale. He's got one. He's got 2. Number 21 says the teddy bear toss, the 21st edition, is cleared for takeoff. Eric Vitale becomes the 4th player to score a second teddy bear toss goal in the history of this event.
Not even 10 seconds into the penalty kill, the streak, as you said, streaks are meant to be broken. 10 seconds into this penalty kill, a 5-on-3, and here come the teddy bears, and they're still coming. What a sight. Nowhere will you see a sight like this in college hockey, but here in the Adirondack Bank Center, right?
And for that matter, in sports.
Yeah.
I mean, in the craziness of our world today, it's nice to see people coming together for a common goal like this, and this community always has.
There's hardly an empty seat in this arena, and there's something to be said for that.
And there it is, Vitale, as we get a quick look at the replay.
It looked like possibly 5-hole. I couldn't exactly tell.
And in keeping with good sportsmanship, the Lakers are assisting with the cleanup.
Yeah, that's something I know head coach Ed Gosick for the Lakers prides himself on.
They have recent experience, by the way. They had theirs, of course, last night.
Yep.
Few less probably to clean up.
Not nearly as big. Not nearly as big. The sight never gets old, Ray.
No, it does not.
Never gets old.
And you know, I harken back to a story. I think back to a story I heard when, of course, Salve Regina created a buzz many years ago, back in 2011 in this event. And they, for all intents and purposes, got blown out that night. It was a 10-goal-plus win for Utica. Rich Garbutt scored the goal that night. But I'll never forget, I talked to Andy Bischetto, the head coach at Salve Regina at the time, a Hobart grad who has done very well and is now working as a coach in the D1 ranks. And one of the things he always said to me that stuck with me about cleaning up that night and having his players do it is, he was like, listen, these guys are going to go out and be leaders in their communities. They're going to be husbands. They're going to be fathers. They're going to have families. It's important to step forward and do the right thing, even if it feels a little bit difficult after falling behind 1-0.
Yeah, and you see the number of players from Utica U, from Oswego, from Salve that have gone on and not been in hockey. As we look at another replay of this, Vitale, low glove side for the Teddy Bear toss goal.
And just a terrific job of screening there, too. Good wide base. And that opens up so many possibilities because the goaltender's eyes are just completely erased at that point.
And I was talking to Thomas Talarino during our sports hit, during our 6 o'clock newscast about what Utica needs to do to get the win tonight. This was it. Score first. When they score first, they're 5-2 this year. If they were able to get Oswego on their heels, like I think they are now, they got a pretty good shot.
'93rd goal scored in the history of this event for Utica. That includes, of course, the 20 Teddy Bear toss goals that have been scored. Of course, we did not have a game back 5 years ago.
Yep.
And that was, they took it outside and made a very, very wonderful toy drive out of what was obviously a very difficult situation that year.
Tough time all around for everyone. And, you say that it's needed now more than then, and some may say it was needed then more than now, but it's always needed. Shouldn't be needed, but it is, nonetheless.
And it really, again, this is one of those events, you just circle it on your calendar. Even amidst, the doldrums of the day-to-day, the weather gets a little bit icky this time of year. That chill can just do a lot to you, but this is an event that really warms the heart.
It absolutely is. It's every year. Every year, it's just remarkable. As we look at another angle of this goal, Vitale cycles, waits with it over Ovechkin's office, and like you said, just a great screen by Utica.
And that was his old buddy, Drake Morse, who he came up
was.
with from juniors. Same team, of course, the Shreveport Mudbucks. Yep. He was the man who set the screen.
Some really good products. We were talking about it earlier. Some really good products. A good program down in Shreveport.
As we
Santa's
continue.
on the ice.
Yes, he is. The man, the myth, the legend.
Came all the way down from the North Pole.
A legend amidst a sea of them.
There's another legend right there, Scott Hayes.
Everyone that brought a bear tonight, a legend in their own way.
Absolutely. And a sellout crowd here at the Aud. You can't ask for anything better.
By the way, time of the goal will be 3 minutes and 19 seconds.
It's got to be one of the fastest.
Yes, it is. I've actually got to go back and check if that was the record, as we've definitely had our fair share that have happened in the blink of an eye.
Last year was at the 9-minute mark, and the only reason I remember that is because I was standing down there in the player tunnel when it was scored. I was standing right next to Scott, actually.
So again, the Utica Pioneers bringing one of the most celebrated holiday traditions in all of Central New York and all of college hockey as well to life, as Eric Vitale becomes the fourth different two-time Teddy Bear goal scorer in the history of this event. Pioneers making a case to try to claim a second-ranked win in this event as they have the lead out of the gate. And it would also be their first win over a ranked opponent this year. Again, in a schedule that's just been dotted with tough games. Maybe this could be looked back to as a potential seminal moment for the Pioneers.
Absolutely. I mean, you look back, and you look back at their schedule, and it's been tough. It's been very tough for Utica to start the year.
.16:41 remaining in the first period. By the way, a power play goal for Utica.
Thank you for making the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss such a success. All the fans come out, the community is so generous, and they all bring their teddy bears.
Special thank you to Utica University, to Coach Gary Heenan and everyone on the men's hockey team, to all the volunteers who helped clear the ice of the teddy bears. These bears are going to go such a long way to bring smiles to children on Christmas morning.
Window siding bats.
New York Sash, window siding bats. New York Sash, window siding bats. New York Sash, New York Sash, New York Sash.
And back to the action here at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. Power play goal for Utica belongs to Eric Vitale. Perek and Gurman will pick up the assists. And if you could add a third assist on, give it to Drake Morris for that terrific screen in front of Manzi. So the Utica Pioneers leading 1-0 here, and they've still got a minute and a half to work with on the power play, with Brent Fudger serving that second penalty.
Absolutely. That screen, by the way, from Morse, that's textbook. That's how they teach you to do it when you're learning the fundamentals of hockey. You're right in the crease. You're not too close where you're going to get that goaltender interference call, but you're close enough to where you could impact that goalie's vision a little bit. Textbook.
Della Rovera wins that, switches backhand clean. He is one of the best face-off men in the entire country. Gurman wraps the wall with it. Good job to try to seal his man off there by Aiden Cooper from Oswego, but Utica continues to keep the heat on. Gurman hits the second wave. Perek, one-time chance. Vitale looking for a second goal, and that misses over the crossbar. 15:54 to play, first period, 1:03 remaining in the power play. Tucked along the left side, Morse. Quick reversal now to Della Rovera. Della Rovera up the rim, back to Perek, and now to Gurman. Gurman, Perek, center point. He parks it and sweeps it to his right. Vitale swings it down low to the bump. That's a good deflection there from the side of the net by Della Rovera. It went wide, and there's an interference penalty on the horizon here with 15:33 to play in the first period, and that will stop the Utica power play, as it is Drake Morse who will get ticketed for the interference call.
I didn't see exactly what happened. All I saw was a stick flying the other way, and I'm not sure if that may or may not have been a factor. Here it is right here. Going to see Morse. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Morse knocking the stick right out of the hands of Connor Gatto of the Lakers.
Draw to the right-hand side of Kyle Curtin coming up.
It's rare to see a stick-to-stick interference call like that.
Yeah, not the textbook one that you would expect.
No.
So we're playing 4 aside for another 35 seconds. Then Oswego will have that second penalty released, and they'll be on the power play for an abbreviated time. Spun through opportunity here, developing briefly for Preston Brighton, but the shot was blocked. Brighton on the all-tournament team in the Utica Thanksgiving Showcase. Bannister hits his trailer. The shot taken by Burke, and it was blocked. Bannister tries again, and that misses wide to the left. And the goaltender Curtin is upside down as the puck caroms back to center ice.
Kind of a weird sequence of events there that ended up with a Utica player going into the crease. I couldn't tell if he was pushed in or if he just lost an edge and slid in.
Laker penalty is over, so they are on the power play, and there's a steal out high. It's Della Rovera looking to push the pace. He drops the shoulder, tucks it back. Gomez is stopped on the doorstep by Manzi.
What a save, sliding across on the near breakaway for the second player coming up on the rush. Watch this again. You're going to see he has his options. Backhands. Wow. Kicks out, too, from Manzi.
Della Rovera makes a very patient play there, too, because Cohen was playing, he was closing the gap at the right time, and Della Rovera just kept his feet moving for that split second extra to be able to tuck that puck back for the look.
Yeah, if he didn't do that, I think that would have likely been an interception or a turnover, as it were.
So anyway, it is 1-0 Utica. If you're just joining us, the Teddy Bear toss goal, the New York Sash Teddy Bear toss goal, belonging for a second time in 3 years to Eric Vitale. And really, couldn't happen to a better guy, too, Eric Vitale. Talk about a heart and soul kind of player for Utica. Remember, he scored the biggest goal in the history of the program last year in the national semifinal win against Curry College in overtime. By the way, he did that with a torn labrum.
Did he? That
surgery.
one I did not know. Wow.
Had surgery that offseason, and we didn't know if he'd be playing to start the year at first.
Wow.
Well, he toughed it out and was back for the exhibition games to start the year.
And that's impressive. That just goes to show the grit that you have to play the game.
And the commitment to his recovery,
yes.
too. He did everything right, and that was evident in the results. Bannister steps up in the circle. He scores. We are tied at 1. Tommy Bannister scores his second of the season for the Lakers.
That was just a good shot. Saw the opening and was able to fire the wrist shot home. Curtin just not able to get the glove down in time.
Oswego scores on their second shot of the game to even the score at 1 goal apiece. Seeing eye look there from the former Mercyhurst Laker, where he played for Rick Gotkin. College coaching legend set to retire in the near future.
Yeah, that's a name that's synonymous with college hockey wherever you go.
Coached a game here a few years ago in the Atlantic Hockey semifinals.
I forgot they played those here one year.
Yes, they did. And a couple of Eric Lang's former players. Of course, Eric Lang, the head coach of champion AIC, American International. Tyler Procius in the lineup tonight. Hunter Longy in the lineup tonight for Utica. A couple guys that played for Eric. Play brought to a halt as McClelland does some jousting at center ice here. Opposite Brett Fudger. By the way, the goal for Oswego at 6:17 of this first period was a power play goal.
Yeah, I don't think Fudger's to blame on that. I think McClelland just lost an edge there, kind of lost his balance and fell back. Utica crowd felt differently.
Definitely doing a little mixing it up out there in the early stages of this one. 13:09 to play first period. It's a 1-all hockey game.
And that just goes to show the intensity between these two teams whenever they play each other.
And that is long seated between these two. Quarter century of meetings now between these two sides effectively. or close to it. I don't think they played in the inaugural season of Utica hockey, actually.
They did
Now
not.
that I think about it.
First meeting between these two, I found a VHS tape of when I was in Oswego.
Vasillo scores! He's got goals in 3 straight, including the Teddy Bear toss goal last night at Oswego. And the Lakers have taken a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, watch this transition into the scoring zone. Kind of gets German on his heels. Catches him by surprise going around him and puts it right by Curtin.
Yeah, he used Garmin as a screen there.
He did. He absolutely did.
And so that puts the number 4 team in the land, Oswego State, up 2-1. The goals are coming fast and furious here to start this one.
By the way, that 2003 meeting between these two, that first meeting, Ed Gosick's first year coaching Oswego, the old Romney Fieldhouse, massive line brawl.
Oh my goodness.
Including the goalies.
Gonna have to ask the guy to my right, Adam Decker, who stands up here with us for most games, the goaltender coach, former Pioneer goalie. Gonna have to ask him about that one. He also played in the first game in the new arena up there.
Okay, at now the Deborah F. Stanley Arena. So.
Yep, back in the 06-07 season. Got run over by Neil Musselwhite that night on live television. Of course, who probably was the fastest D3 skater I have personally ever seen. Payon, rolling puck up to the offensive blue, and gathered up by Horacek. Horacek to the end boards. That was a clean one-touch centering pass. Payon, top of the circles, feeds that off to the corner, gets the return from the goal scorer, Bannister. And now there's a turnover, and the Pioneers look to spring Ahern ahead. Ahern tried to dangle around there, and not having any of that was Payon. Back ahead now, Burke. Burke delays, looks across. Curtin might have got a piece, but the shot was led astray either way.
Yeah, it was a great offensive play, just waiting for the opportunity for the open man on the far side.
It was Burke setting up Horacek there. A couple of sophomores for Oswego State.
Yeah, it's a relatively young Oswego team.
Vitale tries to sashay by the coverage. Got poked away, the shot by Gurman, found the pads of the netminder Manzi and got steered to the corner. 10:44 to play, opening frame. These two teams separated by about an hour and a half. Up to the shores of Lake Ontario from the Handshake City. Pitchfork down through center, it'll split the D. Back to get it is Simpson. Simpson tipped forward, Ergo. He'll change off for Oswego State as the Alaska Anchorage transfer. Gomez pokes it, goes to the chip along the far boards. Intercepted by Baker, the reigning SUNYAC Defensive Player of the Year. He dumps it back in, and out comes Golickson now for Utica. Turned away at the line. It's Simpson with the puck. He shovels it wide of the frame. Kyle Curtin didn't know what to make of that one at first, as he kind of held his stick out to see if he could tip the puck away if he had to.
That was kind of an interesting move by Curtin to try and come out and tip that away. If he tips that wrong, it goes in.
Kind of a knuckleball setup there, although it was tracking wide. McQuaid weaving back behind the net. He has scored goals in this building before. Stolen away by backs. He will escape the zone. Converted from defenseman to forward earlier this season. And that has had dividends for Gary Heenan's lineup. All-rookie team defenseman in the UCHC last year. Great move coming in there for Gatto, but he shoots it wide and to the right. Payon dumps it back in. Curtin will flick it aside. Hilfiger back to Sal Serrato. Pioneers are playing without defenseman Davis Gockler tonight. That is worth noting. He took a shot to the kneecap in the first game of the weekend against UMass Boston in the Thanksgiving Showcase Tournament. Utica won that game on an overtime winner by Andrew Della Rovere. Longy hunts down the puck. Slips that to the corner. John Gutt, the former Utica Junior Comet, who has had a terrific year so far. Double-digit points for the senior. Had a 5-game point streak broken against Hamilton. They look for Gut there, but it's intercepted by Gatto. And Gatto will bank it off the window and into the offensive zone.
Relatively defensive game if you look at the shots on goal. 4-3 right now in favor of Oswego, and they're averaging, Oswego this year, averaging 96 total shots in the first period this year. Something to be said for the fact that we're 4-3 on shots right now.
2-1, Lakers get the cover up in the goal crease by way of Michael Manzi. 146 GAA, he stopped 9 of 10 last night against Hobart. Made a season-high 25 saves earlier this year against Skidmore.
Two teams that are actually new to the SUNYAC.
Yeah,
which
I know.
Took me by surprise.
Brockport and Geneseo are now in the UCHC.
Replaced with Hobart and Skidmore. Soon to be next year, New Paltz and Cobleskill, I do believe.
Conference realignment has kind of gone to bizarro world in some respects, although from the perspective of Brockport and Geneseo, the travel expenses for them are significantly reduced making that move. So that's kind of why they did it.
Yes and no. You look at the landscape of the SUNYAC, you're going to Oswego and as far away as Cortland even.
McMillan, center through hash marks. McMillan digging for the puck. And Vitale was in there as well. 7:45 to play first period. Curtin will come out to play it. Brighton on the backhand. Walled off by Patrick Hyan. It comes back to the line to Simons. Simons has scored in this series before, but you got to go back a few years to find that goal. December 9th, 2023. It was an Oswego win over Utica. Actually, not in this building, but at the Campus Center Ice Arena.
The only reason I remember that win is that it was my first, I was hardly in Utica 6 months when that win happened, just out of college, and still had friends in Oswego who were calling that game.
And the Oswego goalie that night is on the bench tonight for the Lakers, Brandon Milberg. Lundberg looking back to the trailer there and unable to make it happen on the opposite side was Serrato. Miller on the drop pass. Carrying wide and almost stuffing that in short side was Brett Fudger. Pioneers come away with it here. Longy slides that out to his right and jumped into the offensive zone. And shaking off a check as he motored up there was Will Hilfiker. Gurman, the promising freshman, wraps the wall with it. Fudger will have all the time he needs to escape the zone here. Fudger knows he's got 4 white jerseys back and simply shovels that to the end board, scoops it there, where the Pioneers can make the full 200-foot trek up the ice surface. 5:53 to play, opening period. Banked down the boards into the corner. That wraps around to Gunn. Stolen away by the Lakers, and they'll motor ahead. Gatto. Gatto in with speed here. And closed out. Gurman got a good chip on him there to at least start the process of dispossessing him of the puck. It's leaked out to Ahern. Ahern hip checked up the other way. And it looks like he's a little bit slow to get up. He got hit by Perreault, who's making his debut tonight for the Lakers, and Ahern is going to be seeing Dan Seneff over on the bench here after making his way over.
Going to be an up. Oh, I thought that was going to be a call on the Lakers.
Chipped into the offensive zone by Vitale. He'll go in after it. And indeed, we'll get a stoppage in play with 5:04 to go in the first period. And I'm wondering if they stopped play because Nick Ahern is bleeding. And Dan Seneff is sprinting off to go tend to that. .504 to play in the first.
Obviously some concern here for that. It looked like it was a high stick, but I couldn't really see. And see it again. Oh, gosh.
Oh, his skate got him. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, God.
Thankfully, they wear face shields and cages, but that doesn't protect everything.
No.
So hopefully Nick's okay. Former Utica Junior Comet came to Utica by way of the University of Vermont.
A lot of D1 transfers on this Utica team. A lot of D1 transfers on this Oswego team as well, a handful, if I'm not mistaken.
And especially historically, too.
Yes.
These are two teams that are not afraid to bring in those Division I players.
Ed Gosick and Gary Heenan are by far, historically speaking, two of the best recruiters in college hockey.
Yes, they most certainly are.
You look at some of the teams that they've put together, just unbelievable talent.
McClelland chipped in deep. First man on the scene was Simpson. As they try to wrap it out of the zone, and Anthony Bax took the body there on Berg. Lakers carry into the zone. It's Baker. He stood up by the freshman Serrato. Scooped out to center ice. After it here is Gullickson. Gullickson. Goal line extended. He'll flip it back to the support man Bax. And now it'll rattle around the boards to the opposite side. Procius activates to the corner. 4:08 to play, first period. Reversing course here is Bags. He'll try to wrap around. Scores! Anthony Bax scores his first of the season and his first since moving to the forward position.
We got ourselves a game. What a beautiful wraparound, just knowing you have that angle. Back spins around, holds it, sees he's got an opening on the far side of the net, and just tucks it home.
Bax, the sophomore, was all rookie last year as a defenseman in the UCHC. And he looks like a duck in water playing forward, and he showed it right there.
And that's impressive to have a two-way player like that be able to make the transition so seamlessly from one season to the next.
Simon steps out of the zone. The junior, he turns it over. Della Rovera unloads right side. Morse being pestered all the way there by Cam Simons. Is able to unload the puck to the corner boards. 3:30 to play in the opening period. Preston Brighton with the head fake. Shoots from distance. Pad save made by Manzi. And a wild goose chase to get to the rebound, as it is kept contained ultimately by Will Hilfiker. Hilfiker will come up gunning and misses that wide to the left. Hilfiker, a transfer from Alaska. Fairbanks. Brighton now trying to see if he can create an opportunity. Also a blue liner rushing the net for Utica. But it is Manzi who shuts it down.
Yeah, Manzi didn't have a stick there for a second. Watch the replay here. Looks like Brighton may have cut across. His stick grabbing. He caught it with his blocker.
Wow.
He caught it with his blocker. That's impressive. I've never seen that.
3:10 remaining in the opening period. The freshman Jagger McClelland will take this face-off. Lakers control, pass high neutral zone on the money for Urgo. Urgo has a man going down low. And Alexander Gurman erases that option with a good pin to the end boards. Gurman from the Colorado Grit organization in the North American League. In-state product for them as well from Colorado Springs. Brings a really physical edge to his game. If you like a good old-school defenseman, you will like Alexander Gurman.
Yeah, there's not many defensemen like that anymore that aren't afraid to hit. We are going to get a penalty on this.
As you saw McMillan get rushed at center there by Brandon Cohen.
Trying to see what it's going to be, looking for the signal. Holding.
It'll end up being holding.
Yeah, you see the look on Cohen's face. He knew. He knew.
So Cohen to the box, Utica back to the power play, where they scored the last time they had the advantage, that elongated 5-on-3. And that, of course, brought up the teddy bear toss.
That first power play goal against of the season for the Lakers.
Vitale, the New York Sash teddy bear toss goal scorer on Utica's first power play of the game. A 2-2 game in the dying stages of the first period. Cohen for holding. Pioneers looking for one right there on the one-timer. And the shot attempt taken from the center point by Perek was blocked. And if you're not typically with us a lot and you hear the name Perek and you watch the NHL, you may know his brother, Zane Perek, who, of course, is with the Calgary Flames.
Yes, I was wondering if there was relation.
And they have another brother, Isa, who I believe is playing for Bemidji State still, which, of course, is a Division I program. First team all-conference selection. Had well over 20 assists a season ago for Gary Heenan's squad, but did not have a goal to his credit the entire season, despite all the offensive situations he played in, including the power play. But you won't find a much better playmaking defenseman than Aiden Perek.
Who was it? Was it Gretzky or Bobby Orr that was a great goal scorer, but in all actuality had more assists? I believe it may have been Gretzky.
Yes.
That just shows Sharon's caring.
.130 left in the power play, 1:53 left in the first. I want to thank you so much for tuning into tonight and our WKTV News Channel 2 coverage of the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss for 2025, the 21st edition. Face-off, one back to Serrato. And Serrato now gets the return. Offensively talented defenseman for Utica. And he can skate in a straight line, folks. He is fast. Centered in, Longy made the extra pass. Gullickson wasn't ready for it along the right side. 1:11 to play in the power play, 1:33 left in the first period. Serrato looks across, Gullickson. His shot attempt was blocked. Serrato has it teed up for him, silver platter, shooting from the bottom of the circle. There was Gutt, getting a piece of it was Manzi.
I feel like that's one of those shots that you were taken to just take a shot. Could have waited a few more seconds, maybe had an opening, but being pressured by the Oswego defense heavily.
Final minute of the period. Kyle Curtin will let that pinball back to the waiting target here, and that is Will Hilfiger. Give and go off the board. Stella Rovere down to Morse. And Morse wraps it opposite rim. Trying to intercept it there was Ergo. He took a man out of the play in the process. And the Pioneers forced to double back with it with 10 seconds left in the power play. They'd like to get the entry for sure before this man gets released out of the box. And they will do so successfully. Procia slipped that out to the right wing. Around to Della Rovere. Bank pass, side of the net to Morse. 20 seconds left in the period. Bannister and Vassalo have the goals for Oswego. For Utica, it's Vitale and Bax. Vitale has the Teddy Bear toss goal, the New York Sash Teddy Bear toss goal for 2025. As Ryan tried to center across, driving the net, he was tied up beautifully by the defense. Final seconds of the period tick away. And there you have it, folks. That's how the cookie crumbles through 20 minutes of play. 2-2 the score, so technically speaking, with an even game, neither team better off on the scoreboard from where they started with a level terms situation after 20 minutes. However, thousands of area children will be better off because Eric Vitale scored the power play goal to put the Pioneers in front and start off the Teddy Bear toss tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's tied up. 11-3 are the shots right now in favor of Utica. If you're Gary Heenan, I think you're pretty satisfied with how your team's playing.
Most definitely. I think both teams have a lot that they can take from that opening period. Anyway, we will step away here on WKTV News Channel 2 in our coverage of the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss. 2-2 at the end of 20. This is the story of 60,000 teddy bears. With his family in attendance, freshman Eric Vitale is about to score his first collegiate goal.
How did it feel when all those teddy bears came down? When you knew that you scored the goal that triggered an avalanche of teddy bears, 4,000 teddy bears. 4,000.
It's a tradition 20 seasons in the making.
Scott, how you doing?
Buy a ticket, bring a stuffed animal, and when Utica scores their first goal, fans shower the ice with teddy bears.
I was on a recruiting trip in North Bay, Ontario, 21 years ago, that I saw the event take place in a small little Canadian town, and I said this would absolutely work in Utica, New York. It would excite our base. It would really become tradition in the city, and we needed partners.
And it was Gary Heenan who brought it to us. He had seen it somewhere else, and he's, you know, at that time he didn't really know Scott and Jill all that much, so he said, do you think you know of a sponsor that might be interested? And I said, I know the perfect sponsor.
So he said, I know the new coach in town. He is bringing something to me, and we think he'll be a perfect fit. So Gary, myself, and Bill Keeler, we got together. We went over the details, and it sounded like a great idea.
The path in which a teddy bear takes to get here
This is Rainbow, this is Slush, and I'm so excited to throw them on the ice.
is what has created 2 decades of unforgettable memories. The end destination of each teddy bear never changes. Family, friends, and employees of New York Sash head onto the ice to collect the bears, where they are then loaded onto trucks.
Hey, call Mike and Petsy. Tell him we need a bigger truck.
What's that microphone?
And brought to the New York Sash showroom.
Oh, come on. We didn't do a good job?
Days are spent drying,
What a great shot.
counting, and organizing the bears, and they're put proudly on display before being delivered to local families in need.
Connor was 1 and Ava wasn't even born, and the girls, you know, were 9 and 7. So it was like an opportunity to show them how Christmas is, you know, not just about getting gifts, but giving gifts. And it turned into a tradition for our kids, and they look forward to it every year.
But to be in the schools after, when the kids receive those, that's something that I wish everybody could see, because it feels just as good as that first goal. It sure does.
What I'm most proud of in this partnership is that for 20 years now, this has made a difference in so many children's lives in terms of having an opportunity for a holiday that they may not otherwise have.
The Pioneers had become a must-see team. And the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss became a must-attend event, connecting the community through each goal and each and every bear.
Dan Jones, friend of New York Sash.
How many teddy bear tosses do you think you've been to?
All but maybe 1 or 2. Probably missed the first one, I think. But other than that, been all the rest.
The first Teddy Bear Toss game was played against Hamilton on December 6, 2005. And the Pioneers won 4-2.
Even though it wasn't as big as where we are today, you just felt like you knew this thing has legs.
The idea, and more importantly, a tradition, started to grow.
Well, that was the goal for both us and for Coach, was to get more people in the building to see the program that he was building. So once we had the success of that first event, we figured, well, let's give it a shot again next year and see how that goes. And year after year, it brought in more fans, more teddy bears.
There's a save. Preview videos and recap segments aired each year on CNY's Open House, New York Sash's weekly local television show, and they regularly featured members of the Hayes family to help promote the upcoming game.
I'm here with my whole family, a New York Sash family and friends. We're all going to collect those teddy bears. Everybody wave! All for needy kids in the area.
On the bench, head coach Gary Heenan continued to build a program. Attendance was climbing. Records were being broken. And the teddy bear count? It kept growing. And over 3,000 teddy bears in 2010. The game at the time set an attendance record. But it really all came together in 2011.
One of my friends had to sit on the steps because all the seats were taken. That was pretty neat.
The 7th annual edition of the Teddy Bear Toss was the first to officially be declared a sellout.
The Utica College hockey team wiped out Salve Regina 12-0 on Teddy Bear Toss night at the Odd. It was year number 7 for the annual event, which fans...
I remember this guy pretty well.
Bring us a stuffed animal to donate to charity.
That's remarkable.
If you've been to a game recently, that's that same horn when that goal hits.
It's always exciting to score a goal as a player, but to score a goal and have, the confetti of animals flying down at you as a player has got to be, really exciting too.
It's crazy just to even see the sponsors around the Odd and some of those existing businesses that are still like advertising there today.
Year after year, fans eagerly mark their calendars, hoping to snag the hottest ticket in town.
It's the #1 teddy bear toss in all of college hockey, including Division I.
For those unable to attend, 2012 marked a new milestone in the program's history. The New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss was broadcast live on local television for the first time. In 2013, Utica senior forward Ridge Garbett became the third Pioneer to score multiple Teddy Bear Toss goals.
Scott Hayes and everybody at New York Sash, Gary Heenan who put this together. Unbelievable.
Hockey was officially back in Utica.
I'll tell you what, if you don't get chills.
Of course, hockey has its ups and downs, even with this beloved tradition.
What if they don't?
Then they'll score in the first hit. No, they don't at all.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to jinx it. Not going to say it.
In 2014, during the 10th annual New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss, the Pioneers faced a rare shutout.
And, I'm worried about the batteries running out, the discs that we record on, I'm worried about those running out. In the end, we're not going to use any of this anyway. So.
It remains the only Teddy Bear Toss game to date where Utica has not scored.
You don't have to have a reaction to everybody.
The following year delivered a historic twist.
This was, I'm going to have to remember, but I believe that was after we had the year where it took forever to get a goal.
Yeah, this is my favorite. I don't even get to watch that. I see that all the time.
Every seat empty at the Odd. Everybody standing. Wetmore walking ahead. Cuts to his right. Shoots on scores! Joel Wetmore with the penalty shot right.
That was so cool.
And again, it's me as a hockey fan, so I think about the 5 different ways you could score a goal. I never thought I'd see a penalty shot for a teddy bear toss like that. So that's remarkable as well. Absolutely remarkable.
In 2016, fans were treated to bonus hockey as the Pioneers secured a thrilling overtime win against Morrisville.
And there's your game winner. Utica College has snapped the streak at the teddy bear toss game.
When the game's over, we have this slogan, "There's no bear left behind." So the kids would go all through the auditorium with the grabbers and pick the bears that fell between the seats. And overtime game just meant it was a late night for us and a trip usually to McDonald's on the way home.
And while the event is all about the Bears, it's not always just about the goals. In 2017, the Pioneers scored just 1:25 into the game on their way to a commanding 9-1 victory over Newman University.
I was there for this too, yeah.
However, it was a live on-ice proposal that stole the show.
I don't need to see anymore. This is the night my wife, on the way home, was like, how come I didn't get anything like that? Completely ruined everything for me.
Yeah. I don't have a fun proposal story, so I'll just pretend that was me. Yeah, that was me. What year was that? Oh, yeah, that was me. That was me.
In 2018, another first was added to the history books. As Jamie Bussell scored the teddy bear toss goal short-handed. 2019 brought another record-breaking moment.
Okay, before we play this one, I can tell exactly.
I mean, I remember 61 seconds into the game. We're not ready. No one's ready.
I remember being there for like a millisecond. It was like boom, and it was just, yeah.
During the 15th annual teddy bear toss game, the fastest goal in the event's history was scored. Just 1 minute and 1 second after the puck dropped.
The great thing about the teddy bear toss is everybody's there, so you're socializing and you're saying hello to everybody, and we were just kind of getting settled into the game, and all of a sudden we were running down to the ice to pick up the bears.
Dante Zapata was my hero that night. 61 seconds into the game, and we were basically done.
Not everybody's in the building yet. And that's the thing with, and it's happened a few times where in the first 2 minutes we score and people are still trying to get through the turnstiles in the game.
Then came 2020, a year like no other. The game hit the road, proving that neither a pandemic nor regulations could deter the cherished community tradition from continuing. The game returned in 2021.
Across, he shoots and scores!
Sold out, as has become the norm.
The anticipated avalanche begins! 2 years in the making!
In 2022, the Pioneers dominated Oswego 4-0.
Come for the Bears, stay for the win. Because at the end of the day, I know everybody appreciates what the Bears mean, and yet this is a community that's all about Utica hockey.
Just last year, Drake Morse stole the spotlight with a hat trick as he led the Pioneers to a commanding 7-2 victory.
So for us, it's a great family night, but it's also one of the best community days of the year. We think about being in Utica.
We've been going with the same group for so long, and as our children get older, they're still so excited. So I think whether you're 5 or 6 or 50 or 60, it's still something that brings joy to you, no matter what kind of year maybe you've had.
You guys ready? Smile nice for the camera. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
For 2 decades, a family and a hockey program have grown before our very eyes, creating a Mohawk Valley tradition like no other. In total, over 60,000 teddy bears have been collected and distributed to children throughout our community since. It's a tradition that continues to create unforgettable moments. Each game is unique, yet the spirit remains timeless. With multiple Frozen Four appearances and over 350 career wins for Coach Gary Heenan.
Why is it so important to score the first goal?
Teddy bears, Connor. Teddy bears. You know, give it something a little extra, so it's a pretty cool moment.
And the Utica Pioneers, now the Utica University Pioneers, carry on their winning ways.
My suggestion, a whole bag full of teddy bears.
It is an iconic moment during the holiday season for Utica, Rome, and the Mohawk Valley. And 20 years, I can't wait for the next 20.
20 years later, Bill Keeler's voice still graces the airwaves.
Awesome.
You're probably wondering, what the heck am I doing? And to be quite honest with you, I'm wondering the same thing. Not just for hockey, not just for Christmas, but for families and for the community. It's a great event.
New York Sash continues to provide windows, siding, and baths to Central New York. We want to thank you for joining us over the past 20 years, and we look forward to many more to come. Welcome inside the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium as we get ready for second period action between the Utica University Pioneers and the Oswego State Lakers. 2-2 is our score after 20 minutes of play, and the big event, the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss, goal happening right here. Eric Vitale on the power play.
Yeah, what a goal by Vitale. Pioneers on a 5-on-3 advantage. Oswego taking 2 penalties at the same time. Everything seemed to come together. One of the fastest teddy bear toss goals in history, I believe you said, right?
Yes, among them, to be sure.
History being made for sure, and what's been a very close game on paper so far tonight. I mean, you look at the shots, they are 11-3, but 2-2 on the scoreboard. These two teams have been playing each other, you know, you look at the past matchups very, very closely.
By the way, the record's 1 minute and 25 seconds. It was Josh Haskin.
Okay.
2017.
Year I graduated high school. Would have been 8 years ago now.
Brett Everson, Dalton Carter with the assist, and of course, Dalton Carter went on to be an All-American.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
One of the best defensemen in program history.
Playing Newman.
Yes. And that one ended, by the way, you talked about the rough stuff in the first period. That one ended in there was a pretty big brawl in that one, as I recall.
Yeah, that 2003 game, I remember I told Coach Heenan that I had the video. I actually gave him the video of the entire game. It's a 2-hour video. And I believe he gave it to, or made copies, sent it to the entire 2003-2014. He was just telling me the backstory of that whole thing. It's someone from Oswego cross-checking one of the Utica players, ending up with a broken vertebrae from the cross-check, which sparked off a line brawl, nearly a bench brawl at one point. Now, this is back in 2003, some old-time hockey there.
Yeah, definitely.
Old-time hockey.
And you just look at the way that the game is played now, it was just a different era.
It was. It absolutely was. You're not seeing, you know, the role of the enforcer is all but disappeared nowadays.
As we get ready for period number 2 in a matter of moments. Ed Gosick still making his way back to the bench here for Oswego, so that's why we've got a momentary delay. He's having a chat here with one of our 2 referees tonight.
Coach wasn't happy with a few calls in that first frame. Oswego taking a fair amount of penalties. Of course, giving up on that teddy bear toss goal, their first power play goal against of the season. So something to be said for that. You're pretty far in to this season, and you give up your first power play goal against to go this long on top of the board nationwide. Pretty impressive.
And the puck is down here on period number 2. We thank you for joining us wherever you happen to be tonight. Hopefully it's someplace nice and warm. 19:50 to play, second period. Puck is dumped in here by the Lakers. They try to establish the forecheck. And now skating away with it is Serrato. Serrato sweeps it behind Baker. Dumped into the right side corner. Ergo gets buried there by Morse along the end boards, and now Ergo gives it back to him along the end walls. The loose puck comes up to Fudger. Fudger pulls up and flips it deep. Cross corner dump in. Quick left turn to it for Gurman. Gurman under pressure. Serrato unloads, and De La Rovere completes the job.
Utica cannot let their guard down just because they're tied. Oswego, when tied after one period this year, undefeated 3-0. Utica just won 2-0 when tied after one frame.
Scooped up to the blue line, that's held in by Justin Ryan, but the second effort helps Utica escape. Preston Brighton steering it down the boards amidst the contact. Long shot by Hilfiger creates the rebound. Gut guided the rebound wide.
Kind of a wake-up moment for Utica coming out of this, into this second period, coming out of the gate, firing, looking like on all cylinders. Interesting what Coach Heenan may have said to his team in the intermission.
Hughes completes the job after getting checked by Hyen on the dump in there. Rink-wide pass, and the Lakers get it to center, but no further. Procious, headman pass. Vitali, the teddy bear goal scorer, dumps the puck around the boards. McMillan there was being tied up. McClellan filled in nicely above the circles and got a shot off, but that kind of went out with a whimper to the boards. 18:06 to play, second period. McQuaid dishes across to Vassilo. Vassilo has a goal in this contest as well. 2-assist night, by the way, for McQuaid for Oswego. Utica does not have any multi-point getters at the moment, as theirs are distributed among 5 players. Perek, Gurman, and Gullickson all have assists. Vitali and Bax have the 2 goals.
Yeah, we were talking about the schedule for Utica to start the year. Now looking going forward, they're off until after Christmas.
And the next game they play is going to be an exhibition. It's going to be a doozy.
Yeah, it is. The under-18 team for Team USA Hockey out in Plymouth, Michigan.
The NTDP.
Which, what a program. Some of those players are unbelievable. You definitely see a few of those in the NHL down the road.
Yes, you will. Among the players that Utica's played against, I mean, look back to the last time that they beat the 18U team in this building back in 2014, that 13-14 season. It was the December of 2013 there.
Mm-hmm.
They played a team that had Jack Eichel on it and
Good.
Colin Larkin
Yes.
among the other players. Alex Tuck as well, who had the goal for Team USA that night, the Baldwinsville native.
Yep.
So that is a big test and a big opportunity.
Of course, Eichel now Stanley Cup champion with the Vegas Golden Knights.
Longy at center, Gomez. Morse. He'll muscle his way to the frame. That's loose in the crease and finally covered up by Manzi. Played for the Anchorage Wolverines in the North American League.
Just watching that, looked like it kind of trickled in off an Oswego player back to Manzi. He was able to cover it up. And if so, that's a good defensive awareness.
Manzi tonight so far has made 9 saves. Kyle Curtin has only actually been credited with 1 so far, if you can believe that. Shots are 12-3 on the board here at the Odd in favor of Utica.
Trying to figure out how. Yeah, I can believe that, actually. Utica's defense has been, the shot blocking has been very good from Utica tonight.
And there's a break right there for Oswego. Burke had the pass roll out in front of him and couldn't take advantage.
Yeah, that's one thing I've seen where Oswego is able to get shots on net is when they have those openings. They'll take any opening they can get.
Hilfiker was under pressure from Miller. Reversed back to Preston Brighton and guided out through center all the way down for the icing call against the home side. In front of this capacity crowd. By the way, the next opportunity to see the Pioneers in action here at home, January 3rd, it's a non-conference game against Newman University. Former UCHC member, of course, and a program that has met with Utica going back to the inaugural season of Pioneer hockey.
Yeah, that's another storied program in Newman. They've had their ups and downs. I feel like just looking at them this year, they're kind of on the up and up again.
And they won the national championship in 2009 under the tutelage of Utica native Dominic Dawes.
Yep.
Former Utica assistant as well. His brother Alex was involved with the program at Utica for a while. And last I had checked, before getting out of coaching, he was at Penn State.
Which another in D1, you talk about Penn State, D1 powerhouse for many years. Now you're talking Ohio State, who's holding those reins. Ohio State and now Dartmouth as well.
Yeah, my good friend Rob Kennedy up at Dartmouth enjoying a great season so far.
I bet he is. They just did some beautiful renovations to Thompson Arena.
Lakers carry out of the zone. Pioneers strip the puck. That was Serrato making the defensive play. Vitale backpedals here, being watched carefully by Brett Fudger. Procius, that gets dumped out of play into section 112 as Miller was all over him there.
Now, usually that would be delay of game, but it looks like it may have been at the professional K.
There is no puck. There's no puck over glass penalty in college hockey at the moment.
Sure. Yep. Which is surprising because usually it's the other way around.
Back's tied up along the wall. Back's on the back pedal. And it's Cooper who collects it. Carleton Place Canadiens graduate, the same program that produced Anthony McVeigh back in the day for Utica. Tipped in over the line by Bax, and it's brought to a halt at the side of the cage by Manzi. The half board's up to the line. Gomez had that bounce to his feet, and he funneled it back in over the Laker line. Curtin will cover up off the deflection at the other end.
Carleton Place, also a product now in the NHL, Devin Levi, Buffalo Sabres organization. Saw him here a few weeks ago with Rochester.
And if I'm not mistaken, they came here and I think they lost.
Yeah, they did. Badly.
Comets getting a win over Devin Levi that night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. A 5-2. No, that was the overtime win. That was a 5-4 win, I believe.
Serrato off the dasher now. Baker knocks that down. Horacek returns it to him. They'll try the right side avenue, that far wing, and Simpson dumps it in.
You know, Ray, I just noticed something. If you look down towards the Marine Corps logo, got a little friend hanging out up there.
Yeah, there's always one. The plastic tag hangers that come with the teddy bears, they tend to get stuck in that protective netting.
You get one puck up there and going to be joining the count on the ice.
There's always one that finds a way to stick up there. 13:46 to play, second period. Dumped in by Gott. Making a beeline for is Baker. Horacek has a bit of time and space. Connects with Bannister. 3-on-2 entry for the Lakers. They hit the trailer. The shot from the top of the circle was stopped by Kyle Curtin. The trigger man there was Josh Simpson, who was responsible for those early penalties for the Lakers that led to the Vitale goal that started the teddy bear toss.
Ray, you and I were talking about these weird helmets for Oswego, the gold helmets, part of their throwback jersey program this year, has their throwback logo on it.
I dig the alternate helmet option.
I do too.
I'd like us to start that at Utica. 12:55 to play, second period. 2-all score here at the Aud. McQuaid dangles to the front, couldn't get a clean shot away at the end of that, and it just trickles wide to the right. Another opportunity, Vassalo looking for his second. He misses the frame, and that goes up and out of play with 12:41 remaining in the middle period.
Oswego's offense starting to lean a little more in their favor this portion of the period. Utica trying to change that. Watch this drop. That drop pass was impressive, and then the transition to try to get it to defense, offense from defense, I should say, but Oswego just not letting up.
Ergo off the set play. There was a look in front for Miller, but he fanned on it. Cooper shot it right to the boots of Alexander Gurman, and the follow-up by Ergo is smothered by Curtin.
And saves like that and the awareness like that, the understanding of your angles, that's really why Curtin has had such a great season so far. He's able to recognize where that puck is going once it leaves the stick in just a split second.
Fantastic get for Utica overall for this season, by the way, as a transfer from Elmira. He was splitting time down there down in the Southern Tier and made the change for his senior campaign, taking over for Ryan Piros, who is now at Adrian. Piros backstopped Utica to the national championship game. Fudger spins that into the slot, backhand by Miller. That was stopped. 12:18 to play here in the second period.
There was a lot of concern when Piros, went into the portal of how is that going to affect a big hit in the corner. The Pioneers this season as they look to make it back-to-back national championship appearances, but they, with the addition of Curtin from Elmira, they've done just fine.
Gomez, best look he's had in quite a while, shoots that over the bar. 11:48 to play, second period. Graduate of the New Mexico Ice Wolves in the NAHL before going to Alaska Anchorage. Played a few years up there. Pioneers got 3 transfers from universities in Alaska, as there will be a penalty coming up on Oswego State with 11:32 to play in the second period. And remember, by the way, speaking of players that played for universities in Alaska, remember how good Jacob Bro was last year for Utica. He came from Alaska Fairbanks. It's a hooking penalty, by the way, that will go against Oswego. And it is on Brandon Cohen with 11:32 left in the second period. But anyway, Jacob Bro, his father Frank, played for the Utica Devils for a while back in the day.
Really?
And I remember being here for the national championship over next door at Nexus. And Frank saw a fan wearing Jacob's jersey.
Mm-hmm.
He pulled out a card of his on the spot.
You're kidding
signed it
me.
and handed it to him.
That is unbelievable.
Just a class guy.
Yeah.
So it's hooking on Cohen for the Lakers. By the way, we haven't seen Nick Ahern come back into this hockey game. He left the first period after presumably getting caught somewhere by a skate, but we don't really have an update to provide.
Yeah, definitely hoping the best for him. Definitely, one of the dangers of the game you hate to see when it does happen. But as you mentioned, the face protection paying dividends.
And hopefully he's good, because you can get into some dicey territory real fast.
Yes. Coming into this game, Ray, Oswego only on the penalty kill 18 times. So this is one of their more undisciplined games this year.
Pioneers have a power play goal in 3 of their last 5 games now, bringing their percentage up to 14.3%. They did not get a power play look, though, against Hamilton. There's an awesome opportunity carrying to the front by Hunter Longy, and he's able to draw a penalty out of all of that by the looks of it, driving the right side post.
That may be...
It may be on him.
I believe there's going to be matching.
Okay, there are 2 penalties.
It's going to be a trip and it's going to be a hook.
So it's Ergo and it's Longy. Hunter Longy, by the way, just to paint the picture of what a caliber of a player he is. So the 2 goals he scored this year have been for the highlight reels. So he's really a dangerous player.
Here it is again. So there's your trip. At the end, I just didn't see where that hook was.
It was early in the sequence.
Yeah.
Like right about when they rolled the tape. So, but anyway, Hunter Longy had about 200 career points in the North American Hockey League before going to AIC. He is the most productive player for a career in that league for any player to start their career after 2005.
Wow.
And then went to play for Eric Lang, the former Manhattanville coach over at AIC, who built an unbelievable program that unfortunately has been cut short. They've reclassified it to D2, and to my knowledge, they don't have a team on the ice this season. 10:18 to play, second period.
Just unfortunate.
Championship program.
Yeah, the pedigree from that program.
Ryan off the steal, backhand, shorthanded, save made by Curtin. And he took no chances after getting a good hard look at Matt McQuaid.
So Utica's technically still on the power play here for another 35 seconds, and then we'll go to 4-on-4.
Yes. So that other penalty obviously still on the table with Cohen. And then we've got the matching penalties in the box. So the release will make it 5-on-5, and then they'll release those 2 when the opportunity presents. Gurman almost had his pocket picked there by Gatto. Down low, De La Rovere dishes across. Stick of Vitale was lifted on the trail. Gurman, his shot was blocked. Cooper lurking out there towards the neutral zone as his penalty gets released. And now those 2 matching penalties remain in the box until the appropriate time. 2-all to score. The New York Sash Teddy Bear toss goal belonging to Eric Vitale back in the first period. Among the fastest in history, but not the fastest.
We determined that was 2017, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It was Josh Haskin. 9-1 win over Newman that night. Part of a long win streak in this game for Utica. They won 8 straight from 2015 to 2023 after the year that Trinity won in 2014. That streak was ended last year at the hands of nationally ranked Geneseo. Drake Morse scored the Teddy Bear goal in a 5-2 loss. Yep. Hilfiger down to Gomez. His extra pass intercepted. He was looking cross crease there for Preston Brighton. Or rather, Anthony Bax. 8:26 to play here, period 2.
Some impressive work by Utica's offense on that power play. Obviously, just not able to convert, but still not letting up pressure on Oswego. And I think that's the key to beating this Lakers team this year, is to pressure them as much as you can. Eventually, they're going to falter. We've seen it tonight. Oswego, strong defensive core. They've got structured zone coverage working in their favor. I mean, you look at the scoreboard, 2 goals on 12 shots.
Got opposite Gatto. Gatto is the man in control of it in the end, and he motors it down the ice as quickly as possible. Lakers try to transition to the attack again. Fudger, his dump in, headed off at the pass by Serrato. And he quickly makes the decisive move over the offensive stripe to find Nick Ahern, who's back on the ice here.
That is incredible to see, that Ahern is back on the ice, and impressive, to be quite honest.
A skate caught him high in the first period, and he went to the dressing room. Well, he's back, folks, and Nick Ahern back in the fold for the Pioneers.
Credit to the Pioneers medical staff, too.
Dan Seneff does a great job, among others. Good group of student trainers and a good athletic training office across the board.
I forgot that Utica does have a sports medicine program.
Very good physical therapy institution as well.
Yep.
Gilmore flips it back in. Perek makes the turn behind the net. Under 7 to play. Second period, 2-all the score. All 4 goals coming in the first period, including the New York Sash Teddy Bear toss. Great look there for McMillan. Still looking for his first collegiate goal. It will have to wait. He missed that wide to the right.
Great heads-up play by McMillan to get that puck as it was sailing through. To see the open opportunity, just not able to aim it correctly, firing it up and over.
6:27 to play, period number 2. Brushed away there by Perek. Lakers not going away. Vassilo. Stolen and dumped in now by McClelland.
I think Utica may have figured out the key to Oswego's defense. Or offense, that is.
Gilmore, he held on to that for a while before pulling the trigger. Or rather, that was Vassilo, because Gilmore is back at the left point here. Gatto roughed up as he tried to carry into the slot. And Morse will launch it out to center. Just missed the opportunity to hit Della Rovere.
Morse getting tangled up with an Oswego player. I believe it was Travis Baker. Morse was going in.
Along the left wing, Preston Brighton wraps the cage. Looks for the second wave. There's the shot and a rebound. And it's ultimately ushered wide by Gabriel Lundberg, who got the worst of the transaction there with Ryan amidst all that traffic. The Pioneers with 3 players sniffing around the net. But
Manzi might not have a stick.
yeah, he doesn't right now. Rising shot from the left wing is fought off, set up into the protective netting. Lundberg now is going to take out his frustrations at Cohen.
Watch this again. So the first shot goes
Procius
in from Procius, and then I think it was one of his own players that knocked the stick out of his hands. That may have been Cohen.
And then things got dicey around the net mouth there for just a moment with 5:10 to play in period 2.
That's probably one of the, as a goaltender, that's one of the most helpless situations to be in. You see your stick lying out there at the hash marks.
2-all the score. Quick shot right off the face-off. The 36th draw of this game. And Nick Ahern denied by Manzi there.
Now, Oswego really not a fan of how close to the crease that Utica is playing tonight.
Pioneers, by the way, have 121 of the 36 face-offs.
Grinch is here. Oh, that's not good.
Residents of Whoville, beware. Make sure that you padlock the refrigerator to protect the roast beast.
I think we're getting a delay of game penalty here.
Delay of game penalty on Oswego here coming up. Nicholas Miller. That'll be the first delay of game call on any team playing Utica, or Utica for that matter, this season.
Have to see the replay to really understand what happened there, but I believe it's after two attempts, you get tossed again. It's the delay of game call.
Yes. It's the face-off violation, delay of game call. That was a point of emphasis a couple years ago with the Rules Committee.
Lakers coach Ed Gosek wants an explanation, waving to the officials. They're not giving him one. They just waved him off.
Doesn't get called very often.
No.
But the Pioneers back to work on the face-off. Their fifth opportunity on the face-off violation.
Yeah, face-off violation. That's...
Cross ice, Ahern. Accounted for by Manzing.
I believe that may have gone off his mask as well. You saw him shake his head down a little bit there after the whistle.
Just a good rink-wide seam pass. Top of the diamond, collapses there.
Right off the melon.
Michael Urgo just slides out of that passing lane. That opens it up there for Nick. By the way, Nick had one of the most impressive odd debuts with this program that I've ever seen. 4 goals against SUNY Morrisville in the exhibition opener. And he was, at one time, coming out of juniors, he might have come to Utica, but he got a late offer from UVM. What a look there for Oswego breaking out in front. Streaking to the cage and missing the opportunity over the bar was Simpson on the setup by Burke.
May have high-sticked the official after the whistle there. UVM, a team that's been struggling this year in Division I, though. Let's watch. Oh, came close. I thought he high-sticked the official there.
Yeah, as I understand it, Ahern was a possibility for Utica, and then UVM let Todd Woodcroft go, and that's so. Of course, that shuffles.
Point. Yep.
That shuffles the recruiting class, and Ahern got the D1 opportunity to go up and play at the Gutterson Fieldhouse. Great program that, of course, produced the legendary Martin St. Louis.
Probably one of the greatest players to ever go through the gut.
Morris under pressure. McQuaid picked his pocket, scores! Short-handed goal for Oswego. They go ahead, 3-2.
I believe that's their first shorthanded goal of the year, Ray, and gosh, just a bad giveaway by Utica. Right in the defensive zone. Just going low.
Morse Vitale and company just not on the same page coming out of the zone there. And
just a miscue.
Own zone giveaway on the power play. 1:02 left in the advantage. That penalty to Nicholas Miller for the faceoff violation. And now the Pioneers, you know, you're obviously attacking. It's a power play in a tie game. But maybe there's a little pit in your stomach for the pressure, and I think it gets a little bigger now. Still a lot of time left, 24 minutes to go, but Utica now chasing the game off a preventable situation there. Bannister with the steal off of Serrato.
A nearly identical instance there. Identical takeaway there by Oswego.
Pioneers have to adjust to the high press coming from Oswego on the front end of the forecheck.
That may have been Utica's first shorthanded goal against this year. If I'm not mistaken. But
it is the second.
Second, okay.
13 seconds left in the advantage for the Pioneers, but it is Oswego who has leverage off of it with the shorthanded goal. And it belongs to Matt McQuaid, his third goal of the season. He had 16 goals last year and was awesome in the Utica Thanksgiving tournament where Utica and Oswego didn't meet. Miller pulls up top of the circle with a man going to the net on the entry. It was blocked away by Hilfiker. Nice defensive play there by the D1 transfer defenseman.
Got a Utica player injured on the near side.
Yes, we do. With 2:44 to play in the second, And up slowly is Gomez, and on the other side,
can't tell.
Gabriel Lundberg wants a word. He's been mixing it up tonight.
Let's watch this again. So you'll see him right. Catching him out with the knee. I just want to see again. I couldn't see if he was sticking the knee out or not.
Couldn't tell on the contact there where the principal point was. But
and
nonetheless, that didn't feel good.
No. And no penalty.
Play on, 5 aside, 2:44 left, second period, 3-2 Oswego. The go-ahead goal by Matt McQuaid, who has a 3-point night now for the Lakers, a goal and 2 assists. Off the draw, hand pass call. And that goes against Oswego. Face-off comes outside.
And with the exception of the extracurriculars that led to the teddy bear toss power play, really been letting them go tonight.
McClelland with that face-off win, back to even on the night. Hustles after the dump in now. Miller, quick reversal. McClelland sealed the boards nicely. Four-man scrum develops, and a centering pass leaks out of all of that wide of the post. And Oswego motors ahead up to the offensive blue line. They don't get much further than that. Headed off at the pass. Horacek wisely dumping it in, knows it's going to be offside if he carries it. 2 to play, second period. McMillan tips it deep. You're watching the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss game on WKTV News Channel 2. We couldn't be happier to have you along for the ride for the 21st edition. Quick reversal by Brighton. Backs will fill in nicely on the loose puck down the middle and banks it off the wall. Baker collects now for the Lakers. Bannister tries to high step around Hilfiger. Those two scrape paint again in there on the end boards.
Kind of slowed down in the later stages of this period.
And Backs trying to see if he can speed things up. Pulls it wide to the left. He had one tonight, almost had a second right there.
And what an opportunity on the steal. Just traffic in front, breaking it up. I think if there was no one there, you would have seen that in the back of the net.
It just feels like the energy in the late stage of this period is almost non-existent.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking that.
And there are selected players like McQuaid and like Backs who are trying to take advantage of that fact. That maybe they're feeling a little bit better. They've got a little bit of jump in the legs.
And you kind of have to, right? You kind of have to. You see some guys on the other side, you know, who you're going up against on your line are kind of lagging behind. That's an opportunity for you to catch them off guard.
Morse, stolen by McQuaid. Offside is the call this time. Morse has had his pocket picked by Matt McQuaid on 2 different occasions. Late in this second period.
And I think if you're Utica, you really need to take advantage of this right now. Of this, you know, kind of low energy from Oswego.
Lakers lead 3-2. McQuaid throws on the brakes, has Cooper trailing him if he needs him. Spins that down low. Gurman gets involved. 4 seconds, 3-2. McQuaid is walled to the boards, and that is the end of the second period of play. There's some chirping happening down there as the period comes to a close.
Yeah, it might just be leftovers from the earlier hit.
Shots on goal a lot tighter in period 2, 9-8 in favor of Utica. But it is Oswego who breaks the tie and takes a 3-2 lead. By the way, that goal for McQuaid, the go-ahead goal, the second goal his shorthanded goal of his career. Again, for some reason, he has a knack for this building. And he showed it last year in the Utica Thanksgiving Showcase in the 2 games that Oswego played, neither of which, of course, were against Utica because Stevenson, I believe, beat them on the Friday.
Yes.
Under Dominic Dawes. Anyway, end of 40 minutes, 3-2 Oswego the score. You're watching the 21st New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss on WKTV News Channel 2.
Each year, Gary would have, I mean, think about the stuff that Gary has done. It's really incredible what he did for hockey and what he did for the Pioneers. And even he played a big role in getting the Comets back in Utica. But he always had these great ideas, these promotional ideas, and they brought people out. The community got involved, and it was so much better than the hockey we had prior.
In the beginning, a couple of hundred scruffy teddy bears, a bunch of college kids, and it just continued to evolve and grow into the event that it is today with 4,000 fans and 5,000 teddy bears.
So many teachers appreciate it, so many kids appreciate it, to see their faces for a new toy. And I think that's the greatest thing, is that people really put a lot of effort into picking their bear out. So we've seen some incredible ones, all different sizes and shapes, and some singing and playing music. But to see the kid's face, I mean, there's no better feeling. It's kind of hard to describe, and I get chills talking about it, but the teachers work so hard to work with great community partners like New York Sash, so it means a lot that they're getting a brand new teddy bear, and it's something they never forget.
The team at New York Sash, over the years, you see that it's a passion. This is not a gimmick. This is not how do we fill the stands. This is a passion. It's a family passion.
If you're asking me back then, did I think that I would be doing this 20 years later with 2 kids in college, and now we have our grandchildren? We're bringing our granddaughter out onto the ice this year. I wouldn't have thought that it would grow into what it has, but I'm really proud of our relationship with Gary and with the college, and where we've come and how far we've come, and that we've been able to continue it for so long.
It was put out as an event to volunteer at, and I was looking to network and make new connections with like-minded individuals within the community, and I decided to come out and volunteer that night and help pick up teddy bears, and that was my very first introduction to not only the teddy bear toss, but the chamber, the young professionals group, and also a whole new array of friendships.
St. Patty's Day Parade, the Boilermaker, and the Teddy Bear Toss. I would throw that in there with all the things that we do as a community. It's a great place to be. It's an exciting night, and certainly I've been in a position to have the pleasure to be on the ice to pick up the Bears, and you get to see the reaction of everyone around and how much it means to them. And it's always on our calendar, and we don't miss it.
Just as I was leaving my interview with then President Casamento, she asked if I knew my way back to the parking lot, and I'm like, I don't, but I need to find the bookstore. And I bought the hockey jersey, A, because I knew I wanted to be here as a vice president. B, I was going to get the job, and I need that hockey jersey. That was the first official photo they took of me as provost was with my dog and me in my hockey jersey. Yeah.
We're a smaller city, but still like a municipal center. And I don't care where you're from, when you come here, you're like, it feels different. I feel like everyone knows everyone. And having an event where a facility like this is packed, and that's happening on the ice at the Teddy Bear Toss, that's just us in a nutshell.
Yeah, there's so much hype and really just footage. It's been the centerpiece of national broadcast news. And so we use that footage, of course, as our marquee piece when we market this program. To see that crowd and then the city participation, everything we put out from a marketing standpoint, recruitment-wise, is based on the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss.
The year's best deal is back. Buy 2 New York Sash windows.
Hello everyone, and thank you for being a part of this super special event, the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss. There is so much work that is involved in this event, and at such a busy time of year, it's just really important to pause and remember why we're doing this and what is really important to everyone, which is helping other people, making children smile. so much involved in this event, everything from promoting the game, working with the college, with Coach Heenan, with all the various volunteers and the television stations to really put this on. And of course, during the big event, it is always so hectic and so busy, so much buzz and excitement. The stands are full. All of the volunteers are anxiously waiting for Utica University to score that first goal, for the teddy bears to fly, and for us to pick them up, stuff them into the bags, and load them onto the New York Sash truck. But that is really just the beginning. Once the bears leave the ice, get into the bags and into the truck is brought here to our New York Sash offices, where we then have to take on the task of unloading them and getting them ready for their final destination. So it takes many man-hours and a lot of volunteers to do this step as well. We unbag each and every stuffed animal, lay them out on the floor, we dry them off, we dust them off, make sure that they're nice and clean. We certainly count them so that we're able to provide some feedback to all of the generous donors to let them know what kind of an impact the event has had. But then we go through the process of rebagging the bears to make them available for distribution. So this is our 19th year for the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss. And what I have on my desk here is just a few of the thank you cards, notes, and drawings that we've received throughout the years. So the thank you cards come from the children and the adults. We have heartfelt thanks from the New York State Police, from their Crimes Victims Unit. They thank us for our very generous donation of stuffed animals. They use the animals when working with children who are in crisis or who have been severely traumatized. It is amazing to see how such a small gesture can be soothing and comforting to children in their time of need. We also have thanks from Mosaic Health. Thank you so much for your efforts with the Teddy Bear Toss game and distribution. It is a wonderful thing your company does, and we are all happy to receive stuffed animals. We've got so many cards, and also cards from the kids, like this one that says, "To New York Sash from Allie. I love the teddy bear. I love you." Well, we love you too. In addition to all of these wonderful handwritten notes and cards from teachers and from students, we also get quite a few emails from people who are recipients of the bears. They say things like, "We've been doing this yearly for our students. They are low-income families, and getting a teddy bear may be one of their only gifts for Christmas." And students are all from low income, and most are one-parent or immigrant homes. I love seeing their faces when I let them pick a bear. And this last one, "We have seen a large increase in requests for assistance, so the bears will go a long way in helping us fill the gaps." So everything from the Neighborhood Center, the Salvation Army, Turning Point Church, and many elementary and middle schools throughout the Mohawk Valley, they are all recipients of these bears. But it all starts with the donation at the game. So we are so thankful for everyone out there who purchased a new stuffed animal or stuffed penguin and threw it at the Teddy Bear Toss.
New York Sash has been specializing in high-quality home improvements,
making the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss such a success. All the fans come out, the community is so generous, and they all bring their teddy bears.
Special thank you to Utica University, to Coach Gary Heenan and everyone on the men's hockey team, to all the volunteers who helped clear the ice of the teddy bears. These bears are going to go such a long way to bring smiles to children on Christmas morning.
Window siding bats.
New York Sash. Window siding bats. New York Sash. Window siding bats. New York Sash. New York Sash. New York Sash.
Who's ready for the third period? We know we are. 3-2 after 40 minutes of play. Oswego leading Utica in the 21st New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss game here at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. The Utica Pioneers getting the first goal by way of Eric Vitale. He becomes the fourth man in history to score 2 Teddy Bear Toss goals in a career. He joins Colin Kingston, who scored the first 2. Also Tim Kaufman and Rich Garvin.
Here's a look at the goal that gave Oswego the lead. Matt McQuaid, a takeaway right at the blue line with the Lakers down a man and able to put it home right through the wickets. Oswego up 3-2 now.
And then McQuaid almost got another. He got a pretty clean look on a takeaway at the blue line later in the period. So
shortly after that first one, actually.
So I have a feeling that the message in the dressing room for the Pioneers, it was probably twofold. One, puck management. It has to be better than that second period was. And that's plain and simple. Two, whichever team shows more energy and more compete level in this third period, it's a one-goal game. Both teams looked a little flat late in the period. Whoever has more collective energy and compete level in this third period probably wins this game.
Yeah, and I think that on the heels of that, you know, Utica really had an opportunity there. Oswego playing kind of flat to end the period. They had an opportunity to at least tie this game back up, Ray. They just weren't able to capitalize on it.
And through 40, to be honest with you, this is probably one of Utica's best efforts this season. Just hasn't fallen their way. After 40 minutes of play, Pioneers trying to avoid consecutive losses for the first time in the history of this event. Has never happened. Again, they went from 2015 to 23 without a loss. And before that, I mean, you go back to 14, of course, the 1-0 loss to Trinity, and then the Curry loss in 2007 when Aaron Jeffrey, the captain, scored the goal.
Yeah, I mean, you look coming into this period, you know, trailing even by a goal. Utica 0-1-0 on the season. Oswego leading after 2, 4-0.
And I don't know if you just saw on our cameras there, they're still giving Ahern some attention down there on the bench. Take a look at the collar of his jersey on the back there.
Good
Tommy
Lord.
Bannister going over to pat him on the back. Good sportsmanship there. You like to see that.
He's got a smile on his face. I mean, that just shows a love of this game. I'm just trying to see. You can see on the chin, he's got one heck of a bandage there. So I'm sure after this one, he's going to be taking a little field trip over to the Wynn Hospital to get some stitches.
Have to wait and see, I guess. But it's good to see him back in this hockey game as we start the third period. Up for grabs, 1-goal game to close out the fall semester for Utica.
I give Ahern a lot of credit. If that were me, not for nothing, Ray, probably be in the fetal position crying.
I would be too. Every single player on this ice surface is a tougher man than I.
Yep. I'm not afraid to admit that either.
Lead pass just missed its intended target, Aiden Hughes. As the Pioneers try to establish in the offensive zone here, chasing the game by 1. Centering pass just missing the intended target there down the middle of the ice surface. That was Preston Brighton who had stepped downhill for Utica. 19:25 to play, third period. Payon backhands up the wall. On the tape of Ryan. Good forechecking here from Utica this time. And well involved in the play there is Alex Gomez.
Utica this season right now, actually, I should say, up 18-11 in the shots. This season they are 5-2-0 when out shooting their opponents.
And a penalty upcoming. That will be on Utica, more than likely.
It's going to be a trip.
Gatto gets upended at center. And the penalty will belong to Gabriel Lundberg, who has 3 goals this season and played some of his best hockey down the stretch in the NCAAs last year.
Yeah, you know, that was very similar to the hit we saw late in the second period on the near side here. Very, very similar. Just interesting how they're officiating the game tonight.
Lakers have a power play goal tonight. It belongs to Bannister. That front after the centering pass eluded the grasp of Vassilo. And it's Brighton who zips it down the ice.
How that didn't hit the scoreboard, I will never know.
I'm sure something will hit the scoreboard tomorrow as Utica City FC opens their season.
Oh, yep.
The old MASL superstructure violation. I've read the rule book a few times, if you can't tell.
Yeah.
1:16 remaining in the penalty. 18:10 to go in the third period. About once every 3-4 games, something goes off the scoreboard and during that season.
Well, this is one of the lower ceilings, I feel like, in any professional sport. You know, you think about it, usually the boards are up a little bit higher. Of course, a little bit different of a rink here in Utica.
72 cable roof structure, of course, the inspiration for Madison Square Garden in its current iteration. Featured unobstructed views, and to this day, it makes it a national engineering landmark.
Just always remarkable. Come in and see just, it's not a pillar in sight.
There's a steal off the netminder, Manzi. Morse on the frame, scores! Tie game! Drake Morse! He delivers, and perhaps he atones for his earlier error that led to the Oswego lead.
What a move. Watch this. The dangle around. He needs to wash his hands, Ray. That was just absolutely filthy. Watch it again. Gets the feed pass, takes it back over the hash marks, and in.
And does it, cutting across the grain against the defending SUNYAC Defensive Player of the Year.
Unbelievable.
Baker. That was outstanding by Drake Morris. He's a primetime performer. He scores his 6th of the season. He couldn't let his old buddy Eric Vitale have all the fun tonight. Remember, he scored the Teddy Bear goal a season ago. Drake Morris did.
Yes, he did.
Against Geneseo. Cohen comes up firing, and that will not get the tip he was looking for from Horacek.
That was only one of 2 goals the Pioneers had last year.
And by the way, we now have 2 shorthanded goals in this hockey game.
Oh, yeah.
Pioneers score shorthanded for the first time this season. Morse had the giveaway that allowed a shorthanded goal and then scores one himself. Sometimes, you know, it's just poetic, right?
Yeah.
16 and a half to play third period.
A very poetic game.
If you're just joining us, the Teddy Bear toss goal scored long ago, back in the first period. Setting off the annual and always spectacular toy drive to benefit local children in need. Over 60,000 teddy bears collected over the life of this event. In the over 2 decades it has been held. And, you know, it just goes beyond. It's not just, you know, the holiday gifts.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, I know, as I understand it, a lot of them, it's not uncommon for them to end up with local emergency services personnel to be given out to a kid after, you know, maybe a pretty significant event. Maybe there was a fire or something of that nature. And so it's good to see that these teddy bears really do go a long way, and they impact people in ways beyond anything you could ever imagine.
Yeah, and I know as someone with a first response background, as a volunteer firefighter, spending 5 years as a volunteer firefighter, it's something we always carried multiple on the trucks for that reason. You know, because we just never know. We get called out. When those tones go off, it's someone's having their worst day.
Yes.
You know, and it's just the smallest thing can make it better.
So some of these teddy bears over the years have gone to help make a child's worst day better. And I think that, you know, amidst obviously tragic circumstances, there is, you know, there is a silver lining in certain things now like that.
Absolutely. And I think that's the bigger story, you know. Look at the arena tonight. There's hardly a seat that's empty. We're nearly a capacity crowd. And this is year in, year out, this community coming out.
Face off one clean by McQuaid. Shot wide. Off the dasher and out ahead of Nick Ahern. Quick wrap back to Gilmore. Vassalo through center ice. Under the watchful eye of Brighton, who closed the gap on him as he approached the line. That forces the dump in. Good play there by Preston. One of the best shot blockers in the nation. And a player that has had to really kind of step up and answer the call this season on a retooled defensive unit for Utica. Remember, the All-American Brian Scoville has moved on.
Yeah.
Ben Schulteis, who was a one-year rental from Ferris State as a graduate transfer. He's moved on. So the Pioneers had to do some retooling, and Preston's a big part of that.
And, you know, a lot of people saw this as kind of a rebuilding year for the Pioneers, but look at the score. I mean, you're tied with the number 4 team in the country right now. You're number 14, came in second ranked in the preseason polls. I don't think this is anywhere close to a rebuilding.
This is the best they've looked throughout this season so far.
And it speaks volumes.
Great centering look there, and trying to muscle it home on the doorstep was Miller on the setup by Brett Fudger. Now at the other end, Morse, Pioneers want a call they will not receive the benefit of there. Gurman at the point. Fudger blocks the shot with his shin.
Yeah, I think that was borderline interference there. I mean, very borderline.
Gurman. Bank is open for De La Rovere. One-time chance, rebound for Morse, and it was just pulled off his tape.
Gosh, 1 second earlier, and we have a 4-3 Pioneers lead.
I think it was Aiden Cooper who swiped that away. 12:44 to play in the third. We're tied. Connor Gatto carries into the corner and meets 2 Pioneers there, including Serrato. The other was Aiden Parak. Off the far dasher, all the way down. It will go for the icing call as Utica kind of gets pushed back a little bit there off that entry. And they panicked getting that out of the zone. But moments ago, Drake Morse, the loose change was open and available.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, 1 second earlier, if he had gotten that shot off 1 second earlier, we're talking a whole different hockey game.
Gatto will take the draw against McClelland. McClelland wins that face-off. He'll be a plus on the night there at 6 and 5. Wins his 6th right there. Off the dasher and to center for Serrato. And returned back to the Utica zone. Vitale backhands it deep. Gut is on the case up front as Simpson moves it along. Gut leveraged away from it by Bannister. Actually, that was Simpson back there getting involved in the play.
I'm kind of surprised with how physical Oswego's playing. Of course, in my day, we had the likes of Travis Broman, Tyson Kirkby, and Mac Lewis, but it seems like every player on this Oswego team is throwing their weight around a little bit.
Travis Broman, who was in camp with the Utica Comets for a second a couple of years ago.
Yes, he was, while he was with Adirondack in the ECHL.
Pioneers with a steal up front. It's Ahern. Highway robbery committed on that chance by Manzi.
Uh-oh.
And, of course, from there, everyone hunting for the puck, trying to get a piece of it.
I don't know where that puck ended up after Manzi stopped it. I don't know if he got his glove on it or sat on it. I don't know what he did.
Let's get another look at this. Vitale that was Vitale's teddy bear goal from earlier. 11:20 remaining here in the third period now. So it seems so long ago.
Here it is.
And there's a look at it there off the takeaway.
Blank.
And then you see McMillan trying to force his way through Vassalo. And Vassalo is not too thrilled with him.
Looked like it may have been the right skate. May have been that stopped it, that Manzi got on it.
Bannister read the set play for Oswego on the offensive zone faceoff for Utica, and immediately it transitions back to the other end.
You know, we saw that Teddy Bear toss goal just a second ago, and getting out in the community doing stories, a lot of people have asked me, you see people after 2 or 3 years, they move on to different markets, but you're staying, Ben. Why? That's why right there, because I'm so proud to be a part of this community. I'm not from here originally. I'm from Glens Falls. But I'm proud to say that I live in this community, I work in this community every day, and I hope to serve this community because of moments like that teddy bear toss.
De La Rovere cuts to the front, ladled it there for the net front target that had presented itself from Aiden Hughes. I mean, I can certainly vouch as well, Ben. I mean, I've been here now. This is my 15th season with the Pioneers. And, certainly coming out of college, you look at pro jobs and you hope to get one, but, it wasn't in the cards for me. And now I'm proud to be here. Brighton is too. He scores! Preston Brighton scores his first of the season, and it couldn't come at a better time. 4-3 Utica, 10.5 to go.
What a goal. Watch this again. There was a tie-up behind the net. Brighton takes it from the hash marks. What a goal.
Top drawer for Preston Brighton.
Watch this again. Oh, blocker side on Manzi. Mid-blocker side. Saw the opening and he took it. And I think now they have Oswego on their heels, Ray.
Rink wide pass to Miller. Miller toppled by Alexander Gurman.
Utica's got to be careful. They can't let Oswego bait them into taking a penalty.
Great breakout pass to Gurman. Lundberg posts up and slips it forward to Gurman, who jumps into the rush. He gets stalled out in the corner, and the Lakers can jettison the puck back to center. Lundberg fights off Ryan, and they got upended by the Lakers forward there out of Endwell, New York. Typically a town more noted for its football prowess than anything. And baseball, too.
Yes, they had someone go pro from Endwell, I believe, for the Yankees. Jason Powis would know that. He'll probably text me in a minute. That's going to be a penalty.
Right at the blue line by Cooper. That was, for the Pioneers, I believe, Anthony Bax. That's a no-doubter.
Yeah, absolutely. And watch this again. So goes up.
Cooper just misplays it. The puck plays him, and he reacts.
Takes the stick with him, too. If you don't, you have to. That's one of those calls you have to make.
Legally gained advantage. That's obstruction by the book.
Yes, it is.
And so the Pioneers up 4-3 on the power play. An opportunity to really put the visiting side in a world of hurt here.
A goal here, Ray. I think that will seal it for Utica.
The Pioneers do not want to become the first team in the history of this event to lose it twice in a row. They don't want to be that team. And it's stolen off the draw by McQuaid, who gave Oswego the lead earlier. Got it end-to-end there, so good start to the kill for the Lakers. But now Serrato slips away from the scrum with the puck after being fed by Longy. Pioneer goals tonight. Morris, Brighton, Vitale, and Bax. Jean Gutt would like a piece of the action as he rolls the puck around the boards looking for McMillan. And pass back to the point, mishandled by Serrato. Needs to be careful as he steps in front of McQuaid. Breakaway chance for Bannister, fought off by Curtin.
What a great save by Curtin. Seeing that breakaway, that's something earlier wasn't able to see quite as well and ended up in a shorthanded goal.
Ahern, De La Rovere drops the shoulder, wraps the cage. Banks that to the point, finds Gurman. Gurman slips it right, hits Parak. And now Gurman will do the same. The Pioneer D-Corps doing a little Johnny Cash, walking the line. Ahern through traffic. That was chopped back to center by the visiting defense. 45 seconds remaining in the penalty for Aiden Cooper. And you really could have argued, by the way, on that last breakaway chance for Bannister, what preceded it. You could have argued for an interference call for Utica there. You really could have.
Definitely could have, yeah.
That was dangerous.
It was. As I believe we're going to see it again right here. Watch right there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think they swallow the whistle because the contact ends up 50-50 there.
It does. Both of them go down. McQuaid goes down with him. I think that's more luck for Utica, and that may impact the outcome of this game. If Utica had gotten a penalty on that, gone 4-on-4, this stage, up by 1, not something you want to do.
Hilfiker looking to hunt the puck here is Burke. And look out below. Vitale just had to sidestep his way to avoid a collision with Bax. Don't want any friendly fire at this stage.
No.
8 seconds left of the power play. Utica would like to get established, and they do. Gullickson fans on the one-time chance. Puck up for grabs as Cooper escapes the box. Pioneers have drifted the 2 defensemen back as Preston Brighton, one of the 2 aforementioned defensemen, dumps the puck. That barely, no, it did get out. It got out in the first row. I thought that was going to stay in along the glass there. We thank you so much for joining us along the way, this journey that is the 21st New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss.
I got to say, this is probably one of the better, more interesting games for the Teddy Bear Toss that I've seen, at least. You've seen a lot more than I have, right? You'd be a better judge of that.
Tightest game in this event since the win over Morrisville, and try to tighten up the score there.
Now Curtin's
the dish was Gatto. He funneled it wide. And then Curtin, as you mentioned, gets rolled over as meanwhile Gatto got ridden into the end boards. A lot to pick apart in that sequence.
Yeah,
so let's roll the tape.
I think there is going to be a penalty on Utica here. So watch this again. Bannister, I believe. The drop pass.
That was Vassalo.
Yep.
To Gatto. He gets taken into the boards.
And that's where the penalty.
Gets the penalty.
Yeah. And it's going to be a slashing call on Serrato, oddly enough.
One of the best freshman defensemen in the nation. He is going to be an incredible player to watch for years to come, but he will sit out the next 2 minutes. Long shot taken there by Baker, center point. Remember, this is a guy that had 25 points a season ago at the center point, and it was gloved down and held by Kyle Curtin. Yeah, Baker 25 as a sophomore.
As a sophomore, that is remarkable. That is absolutely remarkable.
I mean, in my opinion, nobody will ever be the human cheat code known as Justin Allen.
No, goodness, no.
Who's probably the best offensive D I've ever seen outside of Chris Lee in the Division III ranks. McQuaid guns one wide. There's been some really good offensive defensemen, though.
There have.
One of my favorites to watch, actually, an Oswego guy back in the day, Stephen Malaro, who to this day remains a pretty good friend.
It was before my time, but I had heard the name thrown around.
Played a little bit, got a cup of coffee with the Crunch out in Syracuse. After his college days were over, now coaching up at the Northwood School in Lake Placid.
Yep, I had a couple of friends that actually went to Northwoods.
Bax finishes the job on the dump in. Manzi on target for Burke. Procius hammers it deep. Brought to a halt at the net front. Twisted away by Manzi. Cooper collects it. Curtin out of his net to play it up the rim. Cohen keeps it alive. And once again, around that kick play to the boards, that's where it finds Burke as Gurman gets involved trying to separate Burke and Vassalo, and does. Pioneers get the clearance that they need. 13 seconds left in the kill. And the Pioneers up with it here. Short-handed. Lundberg wide open in front. Gullickson, he sprayed it wide to the left. Pioneers almost had 2 shorties in the game right there. Simpson wraps it down low. Pioneers commit 2 to the area behind the net after the penalty expires, trying to win the puck back. Simpson delays, double clutches. It was blocked by Ahern and then lifted out of the zone. Gutsy play. He was cut open by a skate that kicked up earlier, and he just continues to battle.
I mean, it's impressive. It is impressive to see him back out on the ice at all. You see guys in the NHL do it all the time, and it seems like nothing for those guys. But to see D3, not discounting him at all, but still, it's impressive.
Jumped in, Ahern. He'll get called for a penalty as he stripped the puck from Baker.
Bad time for Utica to take a penalty here.
4-3, 1-goal lead, and after the heels of the penalty kill, they're going to have to stand up again.
I mean,
Utica's
penalty kill has been very strong tonight, with the exception of the one teddy bear the one goal that, that was the other side. That was Oswego's. Watch this again.
Yeah,
it's textbook.
That's, in a way, not terribly dissimilar from the one we saw earlier at the blue line. There.
No,
it's not terribly dissimilar.
Not one bit.
The first one, obviously, the puck played him a little bit as he went back for it, but other than that, it's not a terribly dissimilar play there. It's interesting, too, for the Pioneers, right? You look at their penalty kill percentage this season.
Yeah.
And it's not good.
No,
72%.
It's not. And
74th in the nation.
Yeah.
However, the Hamilton game, they lost that game 3-1. That was the first time in 6 games they allowed a power play goal, because over the first 4 games of the season, they allowed 6 power play goals. That's why that percentage is in the tank.
And I think that they can build off of that tonight. I mean, it hasn't been a terribly undisciplined game for Gary Heenan's squad, but it hasn't been fully disciplined by far.
By the way, 2 penalties there, so we're skating 4 aside as it was Ahern and Baker. Baker got called for embellishment after the trip.
Really?
Yes, he did.
Huh. Okay. That's an interesting call. An interesting time to call embellishment.
But what they don't want, the officials do not want guys overselling it.
Right.
That's what they do not want.
That's understandable. That is understandable.
They've definitely settled into an understanding that those 2 things can coexist.
Yeah, and I think at this stage of the game, with Oswego down a goal, that it's kind of more likely that they would try and sell something a little bit more.
Wrapping behind the net, Gilmore. Right along the line and fighting away through contact was Burke. And now Burke being chased by Preston Brighton. Brighton has had an awesome game tonight.
Lakers have to score on this opportunity if they even want a chance.
Gilmore will get a lane here. Stopped by Curtin. And he freezes the puck as a member of the Lakers has disappeared into the back of the net. That's Burke.
And tied up with a stick through his skate. Watch this again. Just cuts through. Then Burke kind of getting tangled up there. Brighton just leaves his stick, says you can deal with this problem.
So Gilmore had the green light there. Just break position. You've got a lane, go for it.
Yeah, and
that's how Gary Heenan's always approached his defensemen over the last, 10, 15 years. As time has gone along, his defense, his strategy offensively for his defense to create numbers up front at the point of attack has been to release those guys.
And it's worked.
I mean, that's why Justin Allen had the points he did.
Yeah.
That's why Dalton Carter, Dan Fritz, Brian Scoville.
Yep.
Jason Dobay.
Yeah.
Utica has had an unbelievable legacy of great offensive defensemen over the last decade. And it's almost unmatched anywhere else in the country.
And when you look at the Utica University program as a whole, just some of the teams that they've put together, it's remarkable. Just like Oswego. Just like we were saying earlier about Oswego. And the recruiting prowess of both Coach Heenan and Coach Gosick.
Puck recovered out high. McQuaid carries to center. 2:25 remaining, 4-3. McQuaid's centering pass is headed off right before it could get to the high slot. John Gutt pounced on it there and does the dirty work necessary. 3-1 penalties will be released. 5 aside is where we are now.
Baker was signaling to the bench beforehand that he was coming over and then got tangled up as the puck crossed the blue line and wasn't able to get right off. So Oswego kind of had to do a quick change to get an extra man on the ice.
Pioneers lead 4-3, 1:49 left, puck went into the bench. And now you start to keep your eye on Manzi here for Oswego. He is looking to the bench for instructions.
And Coach Gosick says stay in. We'll call a timeout. So 1:49 left. The thing I've noticed with the Lakers team, you know, just from calling games when I was in college, they do their best when they are under pressure. There was a Geneseo game back in 2019 I called. One of my most famous calls where the wheelhouse is rocking.
Oh, yes, I remember that, my
Mike
man.
Gillespie to tie it up with about 6 minutes left against Geneseo, who at that point was in the top 5. No one thought Oswego had a chance, including myself. No one thought they had a chance, and then that happened. So if you're Gary Heenan, you're telling the Pioneers, don't let them have anything easy. Don't let your guard down just because there is a minute left and you're up by a goal.
Yes.
This is a team that feeds off of pressure. They feed off of situations like this, and we've seen that all this season. Go back to Plattsburgh just a few weeks ago.
Yup.
3 seconds left.
And for Utica, they've been on the other end of it.
Yeah.
Remember, they had Hobart on the ropes here a few weeks ago.
Yes, they did.
And Hobart kept finding answers. For the Pioneers, this is their moment for a signature win. You close out the semester right. You start to build the confidence for the second half of the year. Kind of like, you know, a couple years ago against Oswego in this very event. When Utica put together their best performance after a pretty stagnant fall semester.
Right.
Maybe this is that moment for Utica, but they've got to answer the call.
And
that is empty, by the way.
And of course, the same situation as that season where they had a very tough schedule to start the year. We're seeing it this year. Too. And there's something to be said for how close some of those games were earlier this year.
Great look in front, and Curtin turns aside. The opportunity in front.
Watch this again, a beautiful pass in front of the net. It's McQuaid over behind, and then one-timed.
Simons,
thank you. Just perfect visioning by Curtin to be able to see that and track that in.
That was theft off of Simons right there. The equalizer potentially denied. Again, Oswego net is empty. Extra attacker is on. One-time chance by Baker. Screams wide.
They got to clear it.
Lundberg trying to dig it up. Can't. Wraps down low. Gatto around the perimeter. A little mishandle there by McQuaid. Gets it settled. Bannister will try his luck. Stand-up block made at the side of the net by Serrato. Procius giving chase rather back behind the net. Low to high centering feed. Simons again with the look. And it deflects into Curtin, and he'll freeze it.
And this is where you're going to start to see the tensions boiling over, the frustrations boiling over. Oswego has the opportunities, but Utica is just doing a great job defensively, shutting them down.
Pressure-packed final minute of the 21st New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss. The Utica Pioneers would love to close this portion of their schedule with a big win, especially with all the adversity they've faced. Such a talented roster that has just had ups and downs against arguably the toughest November schedule in the history of Division III. Face-off is won here by the Lakers. McQuaid has a pocket, tries to shoot. He whiffed. De La Rovere pokes it away to center. Baker will account for it for Oswego and prevent the empty net tally, but not for long. De La Rovere steals and scores! After a slow start to the season, it's safe to say Andrew De La Rovere has woken up in a big way.
Yeah, Baker knew as soon as he gave it away, he tried to clear it down. It went right off the chest of De La Rovere. He was able to keep it in and put it home. And that'll put home the game for the Pioneers.
De La Rovere had his first 3 points of the season in the semifinals of the Utica Thanksgiving Showcase against UMass Boston 2 games ago. That included the game winner in overtime. If you can believe that, he was silent without a point before that weekend. And now he's got an empty net goal to put the game on ice in the New York Sash Teddy Bear toss. He gets a lot of ice time. He's a great face-off guy, but he needed to start getting points. And look out, Andrew De La Rovere is rolling, folks.
You know, it only takes one game, right? It only takes one game to change a season.
And this just might be the spark for a big second half for Utica. 17 seconds left.
Watch this again. So Baker goes, dumps it down, goes off the arm. De La Rovere spins around. McQuaid tries to block. Just not able to.
There's going to be a how-to book written about this game, by the way.
Yeah, there absolutely.
How not to handle the puck in your own zone.
Yeah. And it goes for both sides.
Yes.
It goes for both sides. Utica has had their faults with that tonight. We saw that goal by McQuaid in the second period.
Lakers continuing to make bids off the draw. Hilfiger seals it to the boards.
And this is where you're going to see the frustrations really boil over from Oswego.
Scrum along the wall. Floated towards center. That was cut off at the line. And the Utica Pioneers on Teddy Bear Toss night, they are a winner. The Pioneers will go into the break over the 500 mark as they take down number 4 Oswego State by a 5-3 final score.
What a game for Utica. Really marking, this is going to mark the start of a turnaround for their season. 100%.
And so that'll take us into our handshakes here. Again, the Pioneers getting the 21st New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss. The goal coming from Eric Vitale. Over the balance of the contest, Morse backs. Preston Brighton with the go-ahead goal, and Andrew De La Rovere finishes it off. Bannister, McQuaid, and Vassalo with the goals for Oswego. 3-point night for McQuaid. He was terrific, but not quite enough to overpower this Utica effort that featured 4 multi-point nights between Bax, De La Rovere, Brighton, and Morse, all with a goal and an assist apiece.
Overall, an impressive game tonight. Both sides, Oswego coming off a tough game last night against the top team in the country in Hobart. And then giving Utica a decent run for their money for 98% of this game. Something to be said for that and for this Lakers team.
Absolutely. That's a team you go, you tip your cap, we'll see you down the road.
Yeah, and I think, without Hobart in the SUNYAC now, the Lakers would be the top team in the SUNYAC. So we're watching again the Teddy Bear Toss goal on a 5-on-3 power play for Utica to send the Bears flying.
And thousands of children will benefit in the holiday season and beyond. A 5-3 final score tonight from the Odd. For Ben Kinney, our entire crew, Ray Biggs saying be good to yourselves and be good to each other. We will see you in 2026. We'll have encore performances coming up on WKTV Plus at 1 o'clock p.m. Sunday and 7 p.m. Sunday.